Welcome back
to Greenlight Studio.
We just saw Evil Dead Burn,
We sure did. And we have some thoughts.
the newest Evil Dead film.
So, just out the gate, we're going to do this like our normal reviews. So, first part will be spoiler-free. Second part, we're going to get into spoilers.
So right now it's spoiler-free, well, and that was the star rating.
Yeah.
We'll give you a warning, and then you leave
Yeah.
if you haven't seen the movie.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's just jump right in. So, I would like to give a little context. You know,
Give a little context.
if you don't know what the Evil Dead franchise is, which you do, or at least you,
you
should.
do. Who doesn't?
Yeah. 5 movies up to this point, spread out over
Now it's
40
6.
years.
Now it's
yeah.
6.
Well, up to this
Up
point.
to this point.
Now
Of
there's
course.
6. And I would say those 5, all really good.
Pretty
So,
consistent franchise.
I think, I would even say the most consistent horror franchise.
I think I can't find one that competes with
Yeah.
it.
So, does this movie live up to that? I would personally say no.
I would say,
Yeah. I think that this is debatedly the worst one. I think...
we'll have a ranking that comes out tomorrow
yes.
for
and-
every Evil Dead movie.
Yeah,
So
so we don't want to get too far into our rankings, but just to get dipping my toe in the water, it's on the latter half, definitely.
yeah, me too. I'll say that. Me too.
Yeah. I would like to jump out and say, like, I didn't hate this movie. Like,
I did not hate this movie.
I thought it was okay. And I think that kind of, you know, where my attitude's coming from is just, I love this franchise. I mean, this is one of my favorite horror franchises, and I think these are movies that you could, you know, watch kind of whenever, and they kind of scratch an itch that no other horror
scratch an itch,
franchise
yeah.
scratches.
Yeah.
And I don't want to act like this one doesn't do that. It definitely does. I mean, it still feels like an Evil Dead movie, but I would say in many cases it feels a little too much like the last Evil Dead movie, Evil Dead Rise.
It does kind of feels like it's torn from the same cloth, where
Yeah.
I think that each movie is a unique experience if you watch all the Evil Dead movies, and this is just kind of a very standard by the books by the books Evil Dead movie. And it doesn't bring too terribly much new to the table.
Yeah, I think, and honestly, like the one new thing that it does kind of do, which I'll talk about more in the spoiler section, I actually don't like. I don't like what it did that was kind of original to this movie.
No, maybe I'm just not paying attention to the other movies, but I do think that there was some additions, maybe inconsistencies with the lore of like the way the Deadites work. I'm not going to get into what it is.
I'm pretty sure what you're alluring to is the thing that I'm talking about. So, if you want to know, maybe watch till the end of the video.
It's the inconsistencies that I just didn't kind of bothered me, because why are we doing that in the 6th movie?
Yeah, I think if I were to pinpoint like my single least favorite thing, and if you've watched an Evil Dead movie, you know that they're very gross. Like they have a lot of these gross out
gnarly.
moments. However, I think in all the previous movies, the gross out doesn't get like unnecessary. I think that the Deadites do things that are gross, and it, for lack of a better word, is kind of needed in the plot. I think this one, and I kind of felt that even just from the trailer, it's gross out and they don't deserve to do any of it. It's gross to be gross. And I'm not going to say that I don't appreciate that sometimes. I mean, if you've watched our top 25 movie rankings, you'll know that Terrifier 3 is on my list because, you know, it's a top 25 movie. So I'm quite a fan of gross out. I just think in this one, they didn't earn it. Like they just did it and it was unnecessary.
That's fair. It does. It's kind of like mind numbing.
Yeah.
Like, I think it adds something to this movie, because without it, it would just be even more generic and like lame. Where like when it has a skirmish moment that works, you know, you're squirming.
I very much was. Like there were times where I kind of like did that. I hit him with one of those.
For me, there were other times where it's just like I was just so desensitized to it.
Yeah.
It was just like, and
if I were to have some of the things that happen in this movie explained to me, and then I were to also hear that like, oh, but because you see so much, doesn't do anything. But like, it kind of doesn't. Like, I'd say the first few instances of like the mega violence that this franchise is kind of known for really do work. And I mean, I would say for the first like hour or so, they were getting me. But then as it continued, it just kept happening and I wasn't really into it.
Yeah, I'll say this. The opening scene.
Yeah.
I liked a lot. I think it worked. And it looked good. Like the actual like look of the not the kill, but like I think the scene.
Not the
good.
kill? You're
Like,
talking about the scene looked good?
I like the
This
water.
might be the first green light disagreement.
Oh, I like the
We're about
gray.
to get disagreeing lit.
You didn't like.
No, I
you didn't like
thought it looked horrible. I thought the opening scene looked terrible.
I kind of like the look. I
thought it felt cheap. Like it felt like it was
Really?
made for $5 and shot in a day.
Well, think about the foundation of this franchise.
I mean, that is true, but this movie wasn't made for $5 and shot in a day.
I don't know. I think there were some cool things with the camera. It wasn't all the way throughout.
So,
but there was one thing with a mirror later on.
That was
in the
cool.
Movie that was pretty cool.
That was cool. So, staying on the intro, I just thought they went for like a very stylized look. And actually, right before this, we were talking about 2000s and 90s horror movies specifically, where a lot of them are just dominated by these fast, quick camera movements, like the original Saw and like the Final Destination movies. I felt it was very much like inspired from that, which is a look that I do not like.
Okay. I like water. I like water on film. What can I say? I'm a big water guy.
I never said the water was bad.
I like Wet and Wild. On that note, can I just say something?
Can you?
Maybe not.
Maybe you.
But you said that they go far just to go far in this movie.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of shock value. Why was one of the Deadites in this movie kind of kinky? Do you know what I'm referring to?
I think so.
It's like it's weird. Like I feel like I don't know who wrote this movie, but
we might need to check their hard drive.
It's like, why does this feel so sensual? When
you got sensual from that?
I didn't get sensual.
Oh, see, I was thinking of a different thing. There's two.
I'm thinking of multiple points. I'm thinking there's 3 points in my mind.
Oh, I only have 2.
And it's saliva heavy.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And
but one of them is a little more like, are we sure we can be showing that than the other ones? Like, not to get too far into it, but this movie, it's got I don't really can I even say it? I don't know. It's something kind of weird happens.
If you're going to this movie just for the shock value, like if you wanted to have a hoot and holler time with your friends,
you're gonna fucking love it.
You're gonna like it.
Yeah.
Like turn your brain off and enjoy the shock.
Yeah,
value.
in terms of like actual like practical effects, they were, I mean, second to none. It was I think a lot of it was practical.
Well, I do have one exception to that, and it was a scene that like it made me really mad. And all I'm going to say
probably know which
is that it does involve blood and a gun.
If we're thinking of the same one, I actually disagree on that one.
Okay, we'll get into it in the spoilers. But it was a scene with blood and a gun, which I feel like that's not a spoiler.
That's probably not.
It's generic enough. Yeah. And it was so clearly CGI blood, and it's just a shame to see something that is so blatantly CGI and not very good CGI.
I'll be honest, like, because of what else was happening, I just wasn't looking at that. Like, I'm sure it probably was bad, but there was other things happening that I was much more like looking at that. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying you're kind of wrong.
But I did kind of like, in a way, I liked the main character, or at least appreciated what they were going for, because I think it's safe to say that the characters, as far as Evil Dead franchise go, nothing crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
pretty flat.
The characters in 1 and 2 are literally exactly the same. I will say, like, again, the characters were kind of similar to Evil Dead Rise in terms of what?
I just said.
Oh, I thought you said and I was gonna crash out.
Just like the family dynamic.
Yeah, the family dynamic, and it wasn't exactly the same, but it was kind of like everybody kind of resented each other. And
I honestly found the mother, especially in this film, who I'm pretty sure her name was Susan, I found her insufferable.
She was so exhausting.
I wanted her to die so badly. The grandma also kind of annoying too.
The grandma was really annoying, and I've seen like the dementia-ridden old woman character just done too many times to like.
It was in poor taste.
Yeah,
and it wasn't. They tried to go funny with it, and it was not funny.
Yeah, so that's what I was kind of gonna get at later. Is like I totally don't mind the Evil Dead movies being a comedy. Like Evil Dead 2 is a comedy movie. Right there. Army of Darkness is a comedy movie.
Yeah.
However, I think there was definitely a shift. Like from Evil Dead 2013 and on, these movies are definitely not comedy. And this one especially was definitely not a comedy. But there were just times where they would inexplicably make a joke. And not only were they not funny, but they were just at the worst time. So it already wasn't funny, and it made it even less funny because it was really poorly timed. And there's one in specific that I'm thinking of with the grandma that was just so unfunny, and it was just at the weirdest spot.
It was at a weird spot.
Yeah.
I laughed at this movie. I don't think I laughed in the way that it was. I don't think I laughed in the way that it was intended to be.
Yeah, I think we'll get into that because we laughed at the same point. I remember because it was really stupid.
There's a character, a very minor character. This is not a spoiler. There's a character that works at a funeral parlor.
Oh.
And I genuinely could not tell what vibe they were going for. Like, I wasn't sure if this was supposed to be like fun or like how we were supposed to feel about the scene.
Yeah.
Maybe that was supposed to be funny, but I found it kind of funny. I don't think it was in the way that they wanted it to be, though. It was just cringe. And I think that is one of my biggest issues, if not my biggest issue, is the tonal issue in this movie. Like, I think that I don't want to give away my ranking for our ranking video that you should see. Evil Dead had a really big problem with tone when it rebooted itself.
Yeah.
And you might disagree, but I think that in nature, the foundation of this movie, it is campy, right? Mm-hmm. Even that first movie, like, is less intentionally campy than the ones that came after it. Like, it's still a campy movie because it's very low budget, and it's from the 80s, and it's got some kind of funny stuff, and it's very absurd and extreme. So it's hard to take that fully seriously.
Yeah.
And this movie tries to take it fully seriously, except for random moments. And that's the difference, it's jarring. Tonally, it's jarring. It's the best way I can put it.
It has very similar comedy to Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
Just at, like I said, weird times.
Very few and far between.
Yeah. And I think that's the problem that a lot of movies that just put comedy in, like, I love I love to laugh, as you can tell by my very happy-go-lovey attitude. But, like, I think you need to earn it. And if you just completely break up the pacing and the plot just to get a cheap laugh, I'm not going to respect that. I hate you for doing that. And,
well, what's interesting, what's ironic is that
I don't know why I said that.
Right before we saw this movie, we saw the invite and walked right into this movie after we saw the movie. Yeah. And that was a very good example. I don't want to just review that movie, but that review will be out soon.
Yeah.
But that movie was very funny, but also had a lot of emotional weight to it, and never did the comedy undercut the emotion.
Yeah.
This, it's like the exact opposite. The comedy doesn't work, and it does undercut the serious moments.
Yeah, absolutely. If you don't agree with me, just let me know. But I feel like there's not much else I can say without getting into spoiler. Like,
I think we're okay to.
Many a time, I wanted to say something and I realized I couldn't.
Can we do a star prediction?
Yeah.
You predict mine and I'll predict yours. Give
me a
prediction.
Think, based off how you're speaking, I think you gave this movie a 2.5 to 3 star. I know that's kind of cheating doing 2. I think if you could give it a 2.75, you'd give it a 2.75. So I think you gave it 3.
Okay. I'm going to say the same exact thing for you. Mm-hmm. And you were exactly on the dot.
So wait, so this is... Oh, really?
You're on the ball. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I will give this.
This is out of 5 in denominations of 0.5, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm giving this a 3.
I'm gonna put it on Letterboxd as 2.
2?
2.
Oh my gosh.
Am I crazy?
I don't think that's a crazy rating for this. I think that's a crazy rating for you. You're very positive.
I am a very positive guy.
You rank high.
I do rank high. But I'm trying. You know what? I'm trying to change that. I've matured.
All right. I think revisit the other Evil Dead movie.
Really?
Yeah. All right. Do you want to get into spoilers?
Let's get into fucking spoilers.
3, 2, 1. Right. Now into spoilers.
Yes.
Okay. What was the thing that we both laughed at that was very out of place?
So if you've seen the movie, you know. So how do I even talk about this? So this movie kills a dog. All right, which is something that
was the hardest to watch, I think.
Yeah, I don't like seeing it. I don't dock points because movies kill dogs, but it's really it is tough to watch, and this movie is no exception. Like, the dog death is a rough watch in my opinion.
No, I think that is like the most I reacted to this movie.
And I mean, we're in spoilers, so I guess, like, hopefully you've seen the movie. If you haven't, you just don't care about it. But so the movie turns the dog into a deadite, which I don't think the franchise ever did, like, with a non-human before. I could be wrong, but I don't think they did.
No, it's never been I don't know if they've ever tried, but no, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think so.
So, which already is a little weird, but then the movie develops that when the dad whistles...
To clarify, we've never seen the show.
Yeah, we have never seen Ash vs. Evil Dead.
So if there's some bit of lore in that...
Yeah. We apologize. But so they set up that the dad can whistle and call the dog, which is already, like, whatever. Like, that's fine. It was weird that the dog was the deadite. It's weird that they're like, he's like the henchman to the dad who becomes, like, I guess the main deadite of this movie. I guess. I don't know. They usually, like, in Evil Dead 2, it's Lisa, the girlfriend. I think her name's Lisa.
It's fine.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm talking about. But it's weird that the dad is, like, the main one, but he really isn't because he's barely in the movie. I don't know. He's, like, kind of the first one, but also not the first. It's weird. It's really weird. But that's completely beside the point, because she then whistles, calls the dog. When the dog jumps, she stabs it with the dagger, which was just so stupid.
And the needle drop.
Yeah.
The needle, the slow French song.
Yeah, it starts right after. And so you just watch a dog get brutally murdered for the second time, by the way. And it's just so weird because also
it's like in slow motion.
yeah, it's like a Patrick Bateman Oro moment, but slicing a dog up. But it's even weirder because in the movie, like, she whistles when she's inside the house, and then when she kills the dog, she's outside. Which I don't even know if you noticed that.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, when she whistles, she's killing someone inside. Then somehow whistles, goes outside, like teleports, and the dog's still running at her and immediately jumps like when she. It doesn't make any sense and is really stupid. And I don't know. And then I'd say one of my other biggest problems is like she has the dagger in her hand and yet still has to find like these creative ways to kill the Deadites, even though she knows that if she stabs them with the dagger, they instantly die. Yeah. And yet she can stab them wherever, whenever, and yet when Will, I think the boyfriend, who I will say I loved his character design as like the Deadite, that was really cool. Yeah. But instead of just stabbing him when she had the chance, which she very much did have multiple times. It took way too long. Yeah, but she didn't stab him. I don't think she stabbed the grandma, even though she was like right in front of her.
Yeah, because the grandma's in the post-credit scene.
Yeah.
Spoilers for the post-credit scene.
Yeah. But yeah, the grandma was right in front of her. She didn't stab the grandma. I don't think she stabbed the mom. She only stabbed
the dog.
The dog. She did stab Will at the end, but after like fighting him for 20 minutes, and then the guy, I think his name was like Joseph or something.
Yeah.
She stabbed him.
Which also I had a problem with Joseph because like the way that he died, because they build him up to be the main character, which I like when a horror movie does that, when you think one person's gonna be the final girl and it turns out to be someone else. I like that, and I think they did this well because they shifted the focus in a good way. But the second most main character was Joseph, and you don't even get to truly see his death on screen.
Yeah,
because they go for what is maybe a joke. I could not tell if this was supposed
his
to be
head
funny.
Going through the wall, or
we're like focused on her crawling on the ground, and you just saw like him in the background, like getting whipped around.
I didn't even notice that.
And like she's like crawling on the ground, and it's like right before she's like hides behind the door.
That was what was in the trailer, right? Or like the first. I have no idea. I do actually remember that now. Yeah.
So like, it feels like a joke. Yeah, like, it feels like a joke. And I don't know. I just thought that was a weird way to kill off the most major character.
Yeah.
And I thought he died in the dishwasher. So I don't know how he just. There's this movie also, like, people just. I mean, this is a very common thing in horror movies, but like people just like, I feel like, brush off a major injury.
I mean, she got a spike through her entire leg and just pulled her leg up and walked it off like it was nothing. He got his whole back impaled on like forks and like kebab sticks in the dishwasher. I feel like the mom got really messed up, but I can't remember what happened to her.
This movie, I'm kind of already losing everything that happened. Like that's another problem with it. It's not one that's gonna stick with you.
Yeah, and another problem I had is there was like 3 identical scenes, and again, I think that this is something that the other Evil Dead movies don't do, where like a Deadite will come into a room or like a place acting like weird and suspicious, and then out of nowhere just snap and go crazy and start attacking people. It happens twice with the dad, once at the dinner table and once in the car, and then the Joseph's, I think, girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
I forget her name, but when she walks in, she just randomly like snaps and starts going crazy, which obviously like the Deadites should do that, but it was the exact same way 3 times, where they would be doing weird things and then immediately just like that go, and that was a horrible snap. There we go.
Okay, so when you said that there was like inconsistencies with the lore, were you specifically, was your main thing talking about the dog and how the dog was a Deadite? Because I had other things that I think it was a dinner scene when right before he kills the dog, when he has to like, which I guess you could say that's a good moment of tension, where he keeps holding things that could be a weapon, like he has the corkscrew, but then it's like, and then she's able to the main character is able to just like take these weapons from him, and earlier in the scene too, when he has a knife, she's just able to take them from him, and is it really like a build up like that? Like, does he have to like build it up? Because it's almost as if it was like the dad and the Deadite like the dad was like fighting the Deadite internally.
The rest of the characters don't do that. They immediately
and it's just like
shift.
They should just immediately shift. Like he should not be like holding it like while suspenseful music plays. Like a Deadite would, right, just like go ham.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, I guess the mom like kind of shifts, because when they kiss and that whole weird thing that I did not need to watch, by the way, thanks.
It was very long.
Was
that like a minute
way
long
too
kiss?
long. Yeah, it was really gross. There was way too much saliva and like string.
I don't think I've ever been able to actually see so much tongue contact.
No.
In a movie before.
And I didn't like how many fluids were involved. Like I don't know. It was too much. But then her eyes do change, but then later she, I guess, is normal again. I don't even know.
Yeah, no, that was my biggest thing.
Okay.
Was
that
was
was
the mom.
still not what I was talking about.
See, because the mom, because you could see when the mom made out with the deadite that like her eye.
Ooh, the dadite.
Nice. That the eye like changed to
Yeah.
the deadite eye, right? So she's made the shift, right?
Yeah.
But then later it is like, because obviously the deadites do the thing where like they fake him out.
Yeah.
I don't think she's faking him out. Like I think it is the mom, because she's still like protecting the mom, and the mom's
I
like,
think so too.
and the mom's like,
I think
don't
the
know.
only argument with that is when she tries to flip on the rotator blade thing or whatever. But at the end of the day, like, they were legitimately manipulating her, and they set up from the beginning that she does not like the main character, who I hate when I can't remember character names, especially of main characters, but I do.
That's the fault of
Alice.
the movie.
Alice, I think. But yeah, she almost turns on the rotary blade on Alice's face, which I don't know if that was her or if that was the deadite, because it would make sense either way, honestly.
I don't know. Maybe that's brilliance. I don't know. Maybe that's a brilliant moment that it's just over our heads.
Yeah, but wait, were you still
I thought
going?
I thought that if this whole thing, like if the mom was a deadite that entire time and that was all manipulation,
Keep going.
I think that was too intricate of manipulation, or too long-standing manipulation for a deadite.
Yeah, I agree.
Does that make sense?
I do, and I don't know why I said I do. It does. My biggest thing was the actual start of the outbreak in this movie, and the exclusion of the Necronomicon. I mean, go ahead and grab it.
We know the Necronomicon. It's a little hard to grab. If you've ever seen the pilot episode of the Green Light Studio Show, which you should watch the entire thing,
you absolutely should.
you would know that this
This is the Book of the Dead.
We wouldn't be here today without this.
Yeah.
But you're just gonna have to watch the show to find out.
Yeah. I was annoyed with the exclusion of the Book of the Dead and the complete like joke that they made of it. I mean, again, I'm all for creative direction and like taking a new like approach at the lore of a franchise, you know? So I absolutely don't mind them excluding the Book of the Dead, except their reasoning for excluding it, and then like the fake out, like, oh wait, this is gonna get the audience laughing when she starts reading
She's
it.
like, hell no.
She
says, no, I'm not doing this.
yeah,
like, nope.
those were, she still didn't say that, and you know, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say F it, and I'm gonna say it. She's like, she starts reading it, she's like, fuck that.
Oh, did she?
She really did say that, and that made me so mad. They just made a complete joke of the first 5 movies. Like, that is literally just taking a fat dump on the legacy of the first 5 movies.
I know why they did it, but I don't like it. It's because people say like, oh, why would you do that? Why would you read the Book of the Dead? People do that.
I know,
but like,
don't talk logically about the Evil Dead movies.
But like, guys, come on.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not watching Evil Dead to see a normal zombie outbreak. I want to see the Book of the Dead.
It was a pointless scene because the Evil Dead is already Evil Deading.
Yeah.
You know, we don't need. It's not like we're like, oh no, is she gonna awaken the dead? They're already and there. There's no tension there. The beginning of this movie was really, really weird. We talked about the opening kill.
Yeah.
But the actual opening scene, opening moments.
It made me think that I was at the wrong movie.
I thought was like, is this the movie? Because it was edited like a trailer.
Part of me thought it was a trailer, and I kind of talked about this, how much I dislike that camera movement style. But on top of that, we didn't even mention, and I apologize if you're watching, which you probably are, the actors from the opening scene. But like, lock in. I mean, that was some of the worst line delivery I think I've ever seen.
The 2 guys in the boat.
Yeah.
And then also the boyfriend character Will, right?
Yeah.
Who dies. His acting was so terrible. I was like, oh my god, thank God he's the first one to die.
Yeah.
Because his delivery was the worst
Like,
of those 4.
and I don't even understand. I don't understand. Like, how was it so bad? I did not like the opening scene, and it makes no sense. I don't know the timeline.
I couldn't figure out what was going on. Like, I pieced it together later. That was Joseph playing his grandfather's tapes.
That's what that was?
Because you could hear him saying like, okay, so then there's something in the cupboard, and now I'm gonna read, you know, this from the Necronomicon, which like, I swear every Evil Dead movie they play that tape, and it's like, oh yeah, this is my grandpa. Like, how many grandkids does this fucking guy have?
Yeah. So you know what's funny is we were talking about the opening there, and as the like producer credits were rolling, it reminded me of like the meme or this clip from Family Guy.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because
oh yeah, movie. Who's oh, there's a plane. Who's showing up? Who's coming to town?
and then it's a bunch of logos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the way that the opening was shot, I thought it was some kind of really long producer credit.
I thought so. I thought it was something like that too.
Because they were fishing. Why were they fishing? I mean, obviously they were fishing to be at the lake, but like it was so weird.
It was weird.
Yeah.
But basically, he read it then, and that takes place before everything. But like, if it's not an established character, like how we like, it's just so weird to have like some random guy be reading it and then cut to 2 other random people.
Yeah.
And then cut back to the guy from the beginning that you only saw like a frame of, and like have to put those pieces together in your head, like, oh, he was in the attic. Because he says later in the movie, oh, I look at granddad's stuff for my research for my books. Stupid ass reason.
I also didn't like personally appreciate the transition from like degloved hand to like twerking, like 4K up close twerking.
That's another moment. That's another moment where it's like, how seriously are I supposed to take
Yeah,
it?
exactly.
Because it genuinely feels like a scene from a scary movie.
Yeah.
It's like it has this quick cut where the Deadite gets hit by a car, and just the Deadite getting hit by a car like so quickly and out of nowhere does feel like a scary movie joke.
Yeah.
Like it's so out of nowhere, and like it feels like a joke. It's funny. And then you cut right from the impact to up close, and entire frame taken up by cheeks, twerking.
Yeah, like full on shakeage for it. It extended. It was like 5 seconds.
And why? All just to set up the fact that they're in a club.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I needed the butt. I really needed the butt.
I really needed that.
Thanks for the butt.
And that, yeah, I don't know. That's it. Just goes to show that type of weird tone lasted for the entire movie. And okay, before we
It
forget,
felt like there were like 3 directors behind this,
Yeah.
and one of them was really horny. One of those directors was really
funny.
horny.
You mentioned that because I was just gonna get to that.
Me too. Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead.
We have extremely sloppy, saliva-filled makeout.
with
we have
a Deadite,
with
a
a
normal
Deadite.
person, a normal person, and a Deadite.
Yeah, we have an extremely sloppy
Denture sucking? Or are you talking about the denture
yeah,
sucking?
I'm talking about the denture sucking. So basically, which Deadite even was that? The sister, like the
It was
girlfriend.
Joseph's girlfriend.
Okay.
Yeah,
So basically, the grandmother, she has like fake teeth in the front.
dentures. Yeah, I mean, as grandmas do.
Yeah. So again, I'm sorry, blanking on the name. She takes the fake teeth out, puts it in her mouth, and begins
starts
like
twiddling it
sucking
around.
on it, like it's hard candy, like it's a Jolly Rancher.
And just like starts, and I'm like, what the hell are they doing?
Yeah. And then she takes it back out, saliva dripping, and puts it back into the grandma's mouth.
And it was so that girlfriend character, that Deadite, was so sensual.
Yeah.
So like, why are you trying to seduce everybody, this entire family? It's weird.
And that's the third one. And even like on top of that, her like drinking the candle was kind of done in the same way, like kind of weird and like sensually, which is one of the undeserved gross out moments that I was talking about. But
because it was for nothing.
yeah. But the one that I saved till last was because I was a little weirded out by its inclusion
dishwasher?
in the movie, the dishwasher.
that was also seductive.
almost like assaulty too, because like she was being very sexual to a man who was very much not into it.
And have the Deadites ever been like, they use like harsh language? We'll
Yeah.
just say that, but like explicitly like
Sexual?
horny.
I don't think so. Maybe
What?
maybe in Evil Dead 2 with like Lisa.
Well, like I also get like the very first scene, like the branches scene.
Yeah.
Like, that whole assault scene. Like I guess the entity, whatever it is, the spirit. I guess maybe they're a little horny. I don't know. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
But gosh, it's so weird.
It's really weird. And just the fact that there is like actual like sexual stuff between humans and Deadites
Multiple times. 3 times.
Yeah. Is just so strange. And like its inclusion made me
So unnecessary.
yeah. And again, could have been done a million other ways.
I'm sure it was just for the shock value.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, I could have sworn that they were trying to be like actually like
Yeah.
seductive. Like
And I mean it's interesting to see the different takes that the, legacy directors have had on the franchise. Like the last 3 Evil Dead movies have been directed by different people. And I think that this was, in my opinion, the worst directed of the 3.
I full-heartedly agree.
I think that it was not very stylized, and when it was stylized, I was not into it. Whereas, like, I will say, I feel like at least Evil Dead Rise is kind of basic in its directing. I think Evil Dead 2013 definitely has a style that it sticks to for the entire movie, and is interesting. But this one was kind of just like, hey Charles, give me directing, and that's what it did.
Charles was short for ChatGPT, by the way.
So I would say the TLDR at the end of it's very important to put this at the end of the video after you've already watched it, which you definitely have. But the TLDR, which stands for too long didn't read, that's a Reddit term, is this movie like god awful? No. But for the Evil Dead franchise, I would definitely say it's disappointing. If you want to go out to the theater, catch an interesting horror movie, I'll give it a recommend. I mean, it's definitely interesting. I think that this would be an interesting one to watch with friends. Maybe get a little rowdy.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully none of your friends are into Deadites. Don't bring them.
Yeah, if they're into Deadites, they're gonna have a fucking field trip.
They're gonna have a great time.
Yeah.
This is like their fantasy put on screen.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, for a legacy Evil Dead fan like myself, I mean, Evil Dead, the franchise was one of my first horror franchises that I ever watched. So, as a legacy Evil Dead fan such as myself, I was a little disappointed. That's all I'm going to say.
Fair.
I did not hate the movie, but I was a little disappointed.
I wouldn't use bad to describe it. I wouldn't use good to describe it.
Yeah. I would, depending on when you ask me what kind of mood I'm in, I would maybe use bad to describe it, but I would probably use okay to describe it most of the time.
All right, I think that's our video.
So thank you so much for watching. And if you're watching this on day of release, catch our review for The Invite posted shortly.
And if you're watching this day after release, catch our ranking for all the Evil Dead movies.
Yeah, which will be awesome.
Totally awesome.
Bye. Cut the camera.